What's going on, everyone? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, come in. No shame bells. This is going to be a serious inquiry, a serious look and discussion tonight on Derek Jones Talks Live, where we are going live. Kicking it with y'all for just a little bit because soon there's a movie in the back. They're probably going to fuck with me about it, and I don't feel like moving my camera. And extracurricular after work activities. So, but let's get it in. Tonight, this video is dedicated to The Walking McDead. It's Shane TV and Derek Jones Talks Live's serious attempt to cure The Walking Dead, excuse me, McDead. I'll get a Shane bell for that one. I can't make that mistake. Shane. But what we're trying to do tonight is deal with this Walking McDead issue. Now, what is the Walking McDead, one might ask? Is it a joke? Is it, what is it? So we have to point out what exactly it is so people won't be lost in the sauce, so to speak. I don't want to disrespect anyone. I don't want to make anyone feel as though I'm playing you out or, you know, anything of that nature, even though I've heard and seen screenshots from his chat and a couple of other chats. Hold on a second. Hey, yo, that was fun. I said we're going to do sign language to communicate because my washer was on and it was real loud and I don't want y'all to hear that shit. Peace, Leonard. Let me say what's up to everybody before I finish explaining what exactly is the Walking McDead. Snapella, damn right. So you know, yo, I'm joking, yo. Look at L Boogie, she know it for real. Hey, I wanted to let me first explain. Let me first explain. The Walking McDead, seriously, is people who were listening to certain platforms. Let's say Golden Arch platforms, and anyway, uh, it's come to our attention that the individual who ran the platform isn't who they purported to themselves out to be. Now, is it a big deal? No, it's not a big deal. But in a sense of discussion, dealing with people who overlook certain points is the same thing about Sonetta's fan base, so to speak, or whatever. It's like the same thing we were banging on and bringing focus on and bringing attention to when we were going at Sonetta is the same thing that you need, the same type of mentality you need to adopt and apply to everyone, even me. Apply that shit to me. Am I doing something to scam people? Am I taking shit from people and promising them shit and not giving it to them? So it's like all of those things have to be taken into account, you know? So it's like when you're looking at people, especially people who call themselves breaking down people, breaking down scammers. Let me get this off my screen, y'all, before they stop by, because let's get out. You got breaking down certain people in the community who was doing fuck shit and doing weird shit. It's like it's a way to go at these people, and we tend to ignore, because I myself am guilty of that. I'm guilty of just hooking up with somebody who was basically on the same mission, but now it's seemingly on the same mission because you really weren't on that mission. So it's important for us to realize that there's a lot of people out here that have fallen for the traps of certain people the same way that Sonetta's fan base has fallen for his trap in the $25,000 deception, which we will touch on this week. So it's like it's hard for me to not feel for the people who are stuck in McPurgatory. It's hard for me to not feel for the people who are more than anything McConfused, because I think that's where all of this lies, is a whole bunch of confusion. And the only way you will have a certain opinion about certain people is through what you were told, the information you were given. Now, if that information was tainted, if that person is found out to be a person who constantly says one thing and then flip-flops to another, if you trace that person's background and that person always has beef with this person and then they cool with them, cool with this person, then they beef with them, things of that nature for no apparent reason other than it's a Wednesday or whatever. You know, there's no rhyme or reason to it. When you're not getting answers, when you're getting jokes and conjecture and bullshit as answers when you ask legitimate questions, like one of the most important questions that I asked during a recent feud that I ended with a funeral, I kept asking, why was this individual involved with Sonetta and having secret conversations, and why does Sonetta have audio recording on you? Not only does he have audio recording on you, he says he has much more, that if you don't shut up and watch yourself, he'll reveal all of that shit. Now, my question was simply, why does this scenario exist? You can't find anywhere where that scenario exists with me. You can't find anywhere where that scenario exists anywhere else with the people that were accused of being haters and the people who were accused of being jealous and the real scammers. That one right there was laughable. But the McDead are people who fall for this shit for whatever the reason. I don't have a reason. That's why we're doing a couple volumes to try to find a cure. We need to find a cure for the walking McDead, because they'll go around infecting others. You know what happens. You all seen The Walking Dead. You know how the story ends. What up, D Prince? You know how this story ends. But McCONFUSION. Now, why do I start entitle the video McCONFUSION? Why do I even put confusion in there? Because I said, for one, that these people have been lied to. Well, that's the confusion. You being confused with truth. In the description, you say honesty. Volume 1 is about honesty. Honesty will clear all these things up. The reason why they are not clear. Now, listen, Walking McDead. You have to listen. This is one of these key points. Honesty will clear up McCONFUSION because you're not receiving honesty right now. See, what you're receiving is lies and deflection. Point in case. What is deflection? We'll go to a video and to an audio that you guys heard here on Shame TV on the affiliate channel. And we're going to go into a little bit of deflection and what it means and how it adds confusion, is confusion, and it's intentional confusion. That's the part that makes it worse. That's the part that makes me want to do the video, because in curing the walking McDead, you have to remove confusion from their eyes. And they have been confused, and not through happenstance. It is on purpose. I'll give you a perfect example.
We ain't no motherfucking cool. Nigga, I'm a boss. Nigga, what you talking about? Be cool. Wait.
Now, in this scenario, you guys already heard it. We've all heard it before. Sonetta tells him, basically, you better watch yourself, because I've got much more audio on you. Now, for all the walking McDead, did Sonetta not provide the actual evidence by playing at least half hour or so of audio of him and Kev Jones talking? Did he not? Oh, and for fair use purposes, the individual who was speaking to Sonetta is one Kev Jones. So, did you not hear that? Did Sonetta not? Thank you, Snapella. He did. Now, this has nothing to do with me liking someone or disliking someone. This has nothing to do with me wanting something to crumble or fall, me being jealous. Because none of that has anything to do with that small thing, tidbit of information that you just heard. None of the jealousy, none of that bullshit. All those things are what is called smoke screen, man. That shit was thrown in your face to intentionally confuse you. And that confusion, in my opinion, is the #1 cause of being, walking McDead. And we're here to cure that tonight. So you heard Sonetta make a statement. You saw later on in that week, or the coming days after, the days after that, Sonetta actually came and honored his word and played audio that he said that he had. So now that's not a lie. So if that wasn't a lie, how am I to, why would you assume that he's lying about having other audio on him? If you've seen the video and you've seen the actual stream, which you guys are fans because you are the walking McDead, So you're actually fans. So you saw the stream and you seen the weird look on his face. You seen the McDevastated look that was all written across his face. So you have to ask yourself, wait a minute, guy. That's true. Sonetta made a statement. He said, hey, you've been saying things about your own audience. You've been talking about people who you say you're cool with. You're basically pretending like you hate me. And I have it on audio. Later, Sonetta plays the audio. So this is what I mean, McDevastated. McSadden. And generally, overall, Mick not wanting to accept reality. All you walking McDead. The proof has already been provided. You are intentionally ignoring it. Or maybe you're not. Maybe you're not intentionally ignoring it. Maybe someone is adding to the confusion. Let's listen more.
Listen, bro. Listen, bro. Listen, bro. Listen, bro. Listen, bro. Listen, bro. Sonetta, stop it, Sonetta. Sonetta, stop it, Sonetta. Stop it.
He said he had video with you saying that you love me. This is something Sonetta said. Let's see if it's true or not.
I love you, bro.
So we didn't even have to work. We didn't even have to wait 2 seconds to find out. Again, Sonetta makes a statement about this individual. The statement that he made is confirmed as indeed being a fact. Now, this is hard for me to swallow and hard for me to actually say because there's really not many, genuine moments in the history of Frank. But right here, there's 2 times now that I'm pointing out. We need to use honesty and clear the confusion that has been placed upon you. Okay? So this individual is claiming, Frank, aka who calls himself Sonetta, claims that he has audio. It's been proven. This individual says statements have been made about love, about there being love involved somewhere in this relationship. And boom, right here, the individual says it. Now, I want you, all the Walking McDead, I want you to closely pay attention.
Get a microphone, Sonetta. That's what you always wanted, Sonetta, was for me to tell you that. That's how easy it is to get. That's how easy it is to get next to you.
Now, please ask yourself, an individual who built his page on bashing not only Polite, but the person who brought Polite out and gave Polite his start, Sonetta. Now, you are card-carrying members of the Walking McDead. You already know what I'm saying is a true statement. You know he was doing this. Now, what reason would you need or be wanting to get next to Sonetta? The only thing you can say that would corroborate and go along with all the shit you said, your whole mission statement for your page, the whole 9 yards. The only thing you can say is that you were engaged in detective work. And for that,
Shame.
I must bring that back out. But yeah, we'll get to that conscious speculation. Your video will be used. That's the
Yes, Sonetta. Listen, bro. Sonetta. Listen, sir.
Now, he says he has the audio of him telling him how dumb you guys are. And when he says dumb, his audience is, yes, he is talking about you, Walking McDead. So that is not talking about, I'm not the audience of Golden Arts Empire. I am not subscribed to any pages. As you can see, the audio that I'm using from other fair use outlets. So he's talking about you. Now let's dissect that small bit for 1 second. Sonnet has made 3 statements so far. All 3 have been confirmed. I'm not going to lie. All 3 have been confirmed as actual fact. Now that has never happened in the history of dealing with Frank. 3 facts after shame. 3 statements?
Shame.
The fuck?
Shame.
That just doesn't happen. But right now, it's actually happening. So let me say this to all the Walking McDead. Why on earth would you assume that he's lying about this? Because for you to assume that he's lying, you have to be ignorantly and willfully doing so. Let's continue.
Next to you. Yeah, Sonetta. Listen, bro. Listen, bro. Sonetta. Listen, son. Listen, bro. Listen, son. Do you forget that Latasha Pope and Black Conscious Frog?
Now, stop right there. This was the point why, one of the major points of why we played the audio, and it's called deception. Now, that deception leads to what is called McCONFUSION. McCONFUSIon is a golden ooze that goes over your brain, and it'll make you one of the Walking McDead. Now, for you, and I'll give you an example. If you're wondering, hey, could I be one of these Walking McDead people that he's talking about? I'll give you a prime example. That shit he just did, after Sonetta made accusations about this individual and then confirmed everything he said about him, like back to back, everything he said came out to be actual fact. This individual says, no, that's not who you want. Those are, well, I'll let him finish saying it.
They all a part of the dumb motherfuckers. I sold their contracts back to you. So all this shit you talking about, that was them. That's them. Derek Jones, that's their weak ass over there right now. So
right. Now, did Sonetta say he had me on audio, or did he say he had you? I have to laugh on that one. Did he say he has an hour more footage of me, or did he say you? So this is what I mean by McCONFUSION. Like, McCONFUSIon can only be given out by people who power their YouTube streams off of the local customer-friendly McDonald's Wi-Fi. Like your host, Kev Gills. Now, I'm not supposed to be laughing. Yo, this nigga just said all this shit about this dude, and all of that shit came out to be true. And his only reply was, it wasn't me, it was them. What are you talking about, dipshit? He's not even accusing us. How the fuck could it be us? This is what I mean. If you bought that shit and you listen to that shit, you are the Walking McDead. And we have a cure tonight here in Volume 1 of the Walking McDead. Please be careful in the chat because he'll show up at any moment. spewing his McCONFUSION from the Golden Arch Empire out there in California, where he runs his YouTube page. Of course, again, powered by the local customer-friendly McDonald's Wi-Fi. Don't forget, this man's family was proud of him, that he has a YouTube page. Now, what 38-year-old man with a family, with children, would gain pride from having a fucking YouTube page? What have you been doing in your life that your family is proud of you, that you run a 1,000-subscriber YouTube page? If you overlooked these things and never asked yourself this, you more than likely are the walking McDead. Now we're going to listen to another video of this jackass saying things that just don't make sense. Before we move on, I wanted everybody to remember the videos that he did talking about Usher's herpy lip and dick pics of Tommy Sotomayor, which was absolutely disgusting. Things you'll never see over here. But then he comes out on a live stream just a couple of days ago talking about quantum physics. Now, I've made an open bet, and I will keep my word. If he can spell quantum or physics, I would shut my YouTube page down immediately. Other things that he talks about, rigor mortis. If you can spell the first 4 letters of rigor mortis correctly, I would shut my YouTube page down immediately.
On Kev Gills. Now, if y'all don't know who Kev Gills is, this is the nigga that be going live talking about something that for like Tony's on mine.
Oh, talking about who? We need to go back a little bit because I know this nigga didn't just say Sarnetta. We're gonna go to the fucking beginning.
What's up, y'all? Conscious Speculation here. Welcome once again. Today we got a video on Kev Gills. Now, if y'all don't know who Kev Gills is, this is the nigga that be going live talking about something that for like Tony's on mine. Ridiculous.
Okay. So we just heard that he goes live. That's another confirmation from another outside source that this nigga be going hard at Sarnetta when we've already proven that he talks to Sarnetta on a regular basis.
Shame.
And that all of that shit is thespianism.
Shame.
Now, the volume 1 of Curing the Walking McDead is coming near to an end. We'll continue with the audio, and then we're going to wrap up with the closing statements.
On Kev Gills. Now, if y'all don't know who Kev Gills is, this is the nigga that be going live talking about something that for like Tony's on mine. Ridiculous. Usher's herpy lip, whatever he wants to talk about. That's basically what this nigga talks about. Now,
And don't forget quantum physics.
when I first met Kev, he was exposing for life. He was doing a little video exposing for life, trying to get money for some type of lawsuit, and Kev was exposing him. That's when I first met Kev, and then he came up doing all this Kev Gill fraud department, and now he's talking about Tommy Sotomayor, talking about Sarnetta and whatever else. Now,
Again, talking about Sarnetta. Remember that part, Walking McDead? Remember how he made videos about this dude? Do you see me talking to Sarnetta anywhere? Do you see me and Sarnetta chummy chummy? Do you hear me telling Sarnetta that I love him? Do you hear me telling Sarnetta that he's my uncle? Nigga, my mother had brothers. I got my own fucking uncles. I don't need to find them on YouTube TV. But I want you to remember that all this adds to McCONFUSION. Because you're not receiving honesty and you're overlooking shit. I'm going to say this. The truth stands on its own merit and it does not require belief to be what it is. So if I hold up this Gatorade drink that I'm holding in my hand, I could believe all I like that my powers will levitate this shit and keep it from hitting the floor if I remove my hand from it. But in this current dispensation of time on earth, if I let this shit go, something called that we agreed to call gravity is going to pull this shit to the fucking ground. So that truth and that reality is what it is, whether I believe it or whether I don't believe it. So if you're going to be an adult and look at things objectively, you have to say that Sarnetta did prove that this dude was talking to him. Sarnetta said this nigga said that he tells me he loves him. He said right there 2 seconds later that he loves him. Sarnetta says he has more audio. Sarnetta played more audio of him saying the things that he said he was saying. Sarnetta warned him to shut up about talking about him because he had the audio on him. He confused you and said, nah, that's them over there. What are you talking about, weirdo? Wait a minute, is that your form of quantum physics? Quantum deflecting? Really, to all the walking McDead, I want you to really, 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 I don't want you to subscribe to my page because I don't know if you're all the way cured. So I'm not doing this for you to subscribe to my page. I don't want the people who are already subscribed to my page and watch my videos to be infected with the McCONFUSION and start turning into the walking McDead. But confusion, it only comes from dishonesty. He's being dishonest and disingenuous when he tried to deflect Sarnetta's accusations against him and then provided proof of those claims. But let's just say Sarnetta's accusations against him and try to say, no, that's them. No, it's not. If you believe that, he's basically saying you're a fucking idiot. That's why he has to be caught on audio calling you dumb, because you have to be McDumb to fucking not realize, nigga, that the nigga just got caught and is trying to deflect his fucking way out of it. What's wrong with you?
I actually do like him. Kev is one of the niggas that inspired me to even start making videos. So I have an appreciation for Kev. But recently, this nigga did ask me out.
Hey, conscious speculation, how you doing, brother? Man, my nigga, you gotta get the fuck up out my room, no man.
Now, that behavior, which I'm going to dive a little deeper in, before we close out, I just want you to know that if you don't think that you're McNext, you're sadly mistaken.
Nigga, you was a shit starter, my nigga. You fuck with the ops. Conscious speculation, bro. You gotta go, bro. I don't fuck with you like that, bro. That's why I fuck with you niggas, bro. And y'all bitch ass niggas. Y'all bitch ass niggas don't know how to act in real life, bro.
Speaking of real life, that has nothing to do with the video. I just wanted to dive in on that one. Real life. Would you call real life waking up at 9 o'clock in the morning, putting on a chain, earrings, a watch, and a ring, Fisher Price, my first of all of those, that you won from a fucking settlement, that you frauded, more than likely frauded the city. Sitting in your house that you ran your YouTube page off of, free Wi-Fi on the local McDonald's. Is that what you call real life? We'll move on.
Fuck about it, y'all play that conscious shit somewhere else, bitch, niggas.
You heard him.
Like I was.
You heard him. Go play that conscious shit somewhere else, because over there they do unconscious.
Yeah, Usher got the herpes meds.
He called me a bitch ass nigga. He said I'm a shit starter, and he said I'm working with the ops. Now I was upset at first. I was like, damn, this nigga has blocked me over this shit. And the thing is, you was just supporting me.
Yeah, exactly. Walking McDead, this is what you have coming your way. This is coming to you. Again, this is fair use. I'm just playing information that is already on the public airwaves and giving my critique in a video called Curing the Walking McDead Volume 1, a serious attempt at clearing McConfusion. So, tons of McConfusion has been thrown around, slung around, passed around, and it's all been intentional.
You showed one of my videos, you played it, you laughed your ass off. In fact, it was a video where I was going in on Sinetta. So you know damn well I don't work with Sinetta.
Now, I know someone who does work with Sinetta.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
And Walking McDead, now you do too. So, Derek Jones Talks Live, Curing the Walking McDead Volume 1, the serious attempt at clearing McConfusion, 37 minutes into the stream on 130 subscriber YouTube page, and my viewership is smashing the shit out of you, Kev Kills. Walking McDead, I want you to take that into consideration. There's only so long McWi-Fi stealing ass niggas can pretend. Till the next show, like, comment, share, subscribe. Supreme Queen, Conscious Community Convo, Rising Star, Siobhan Randall, where's Salima? There you go. What's up, Chemo and Leonard? Peace. Majestics was firsties today. She beat you, Conscious. That rarely happens. Snapella was in here, because that's my G. Okay, who is that? Ready Freddy. I don't even know who Ready Freddy is, but what up, man? It don't even matter. I don't buy bull, of course. The McConfusion, because y'all know we only talk to 40 people. But at least they come to the chat. That means, nigga, you ain't even talking to 40 people.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
Closing out, I don't want anyone to subscribe to my page. That's not why I'm doing this. I'm just doing this to clear the McConfusion. I feel like it's my duty to let it be known and let it be said. And going over the points that we heard tonight, we heard Sinetta make 3 to 4 accusations, and we've seen Sinetta's accusations come to be indeed the truth and or fact. You heard it yourself. You didn't hear me more it to you, meaning reading shit that's not even on the page.
Shame.
You heard it shit yourself. So there's no need in wondering where this is coming from or where this is going. I'm letting you know where it's going, and it's coming from a McFool out there in McFoolville, Golden Arch territory. He's an aboriginal from the Golden Arch territory. The quantum Golden Arch teacher. Who goes to a fucking, yo, would you listen to anyone? Would you listen to anybody who's having a serious discussion about quantum physics and then turns around and is talking about Usher's herpes lip? Like, would you trust that? Is that a strong position from someone to be coming from? That's talking to you about quantum physics and they're also an adept at Tommy Sotomayor dick pics. That's fucking disgusting. Once again. But ending out, we'd like to know for the last time, why the fuck does Sarnetta have all that audio on you? That's the question for the walking McDead to ask their McLeader. That's the question of the day for you guys. Why does Sarnetta say these things and then prove them about you? Derek Jones Talks Live, Shane TV 2. Please subscribe to that so you can get all the notifications from here. And Shane TV's watch, of course. Subscribe. Most of you already, but if you aren't, go ahead over there. And Derek Jones Talks Live, hit the subscription button so you can get future videos. About Shane TV 2, I meant to tell you guys, don't have your children around when I'm going live on Shane TV 2 because that's for the grown people only. We're going to get real raw in there. I don't give a fuck if they flag that and do whatever to that. That's why I made it. So we're going to go extra raw in that motherfucker. So don't have the babies around when we go live on there. So peace to everybody. Again, I appreciate you for stopping through. And hey, we'll be back in another video. And I guess it's time for bed. Yeah, it's like 9:30. So you still got time to unwind and chill out before it's time to go to sleep. Well, for some of us, some people, you know what I mean, they don't have anything to do tomorrow except wake up and play all day. We made that nigga take his toys down. And also walking McDead, you need to realize that too, man. Where those toys at, nigga? Put them toys back, yo.